Young flame, it is tiresome, I know. But do try to be patient. Take a little gold under the tongue. It shall quiet the calling. Very well. Where were we? You are seated now in the eastern tower of the Academy of Mayhall. A rotunda. Round wall, high vaulted, ideal for learning. If ever you are given choice, always choose the circular space. Thought flows better than a circle. This castle stood for centuries. It belonged to the noble house of Green, a lineage known for their architecture, their bloodlines, and their silences. Now it serves a different purpose, an academy for young minds born of privilege, where they are taught science, philosophy, arts. If, for a select few, there is room for other more delicate disciplines. Our discipline. Now, class, allow me to introduce our volunteer. She's awfully quiet, I know. That is because she's made of wax, wood, horsehair, and a good deal of starch. We've run out of human mortals, I'm afraid. It's a joke. Now, look closely. This being we all so admire. They do not know their beauty. And if you dare speak of it, truly speak of it, at best they'll think you're mocking them. Perfect, innocent, naive, so unaware of the spell they cast. It is not an act. It is not design. They simply are. That unknowing, that is the cruelest part. Their music moves us to tears they couldn't name. Their warmth stirs a longing they could never carry. We feel them more deeply than they feel themselves. And yet, we must remain outside the moment, watching. Always watching. Now tell me, with all this beauty, this innocence laid bare before you, are we permitted to do anything we please? Yes. Wrong, Vasilina. Only with their permission. And that, dear class, is the hardest thing of all. More often than not, it arrives as an invitation, quiet, indirect, but no less binding. Learn to feel it, or do not act at all. There is a distance one can measure, and the distance one can only sense. And in that silence, between closeness and restraint, many lose sight of themselves. You will often find yourselves overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of your own perfection. But ask yourself this: are you truly perfect? When your hunger clouds your reason, when your body refuses to obey you, humankind outnumber us. Careful, young flame. Careful. Do not toy with decorative pins. An instrument such as this asks for respect. Whole duels have been fought over who may lay claim to the finer set of pens. Now, class, what are the known ways to dull the hunger? Inhaling frankincense and amber. Yes. What else? Slow reading of poetry. Very good.
Speaking to the portrait of your beloved until you're half mad.
Very amusing, Vladi. Yes?
Rats.
Rats? That is a plebeian way to quench hunger. I was asking about dulling it. Yes?
Listening to a piano piece in a minor key.
Very good. More?
Licking gold frames of portraits.
Excellent. Yes? Counting to 100 in Old French or Latin. I've never heard of it. Yes.
Applying noble perfumes, clove.
Very good. Well, you must understand, with proper discipline and focus, you hold dominion over your nature. Never forget that. Touch must never be casual. Each time you reach for human, you must have an iron reason. You cannot simply walk up and touch such a wondrous creature. They're like gifts. Offer something lovely, without words, without pressure. Something they may accept or refuse. Touch when invited. You should feel like this. And never hurry it. If they lean away, you stop. If they lean closer, you listen. Ideally, of course, they should want your touch. If they ask for it. But better still if one of the reasons is already present. A ball, for instance, or if you're offering them a service, hairdressing perhaps, or some cosmetic refinement.
Now, class. What professions are best suited to our kind? Yes, Casimir, that would certainly simplify things, wouldn't it? Anyone else? Perfumer, consultant. Quite so, very fitting. Another? Physician, doctor. Yes. Alienist. Music teacher. Why not? Alright, always remember, our purpose is not to feed, but to endure. We are not beasts. We do not exist for hunger alone, and if there is even the faintest possibility to forego the act, then one must take it. To choose restraint is not weakness, it is honor, it is the quiet architecture of dignity. And while we are speaking of refinement, remember, class, your senses are not human ones. Do not squander them. Right now, I'm giving you some time to write things down. What is it, Vladi?
Class, you all know human anatomy well, on instinctual level. But you must also possess the deeper knowledge of this marvelous, fragile, dangerously inviting, creation we so often take for granted. Veins are not merely vessels. They are soft signs drawn beneath the skin like ancient ink. They carry more than blood. They carry warmth, impression, even intent. They rise close to the surface, where the body most open to the world, wrists, crook of the elbow, the temples, the hollow at the base of the throat, behind the knees, along the ankles, at the inner thigh, even behind the ears, if you know where to look. And while you may know them by instinct, you must now come to know them with the restraint. We're not here to seize, we're here to read.
Remember, we are not beasts, we are beings of taste. Of course, among us, there are those who abandon this ideal, just as among humans there are those who walk a path of greater purpose, and others who sink into decay. That is the way of all species.
Our kind seeks answers, not through conquest, but through coexistence with humans. Through them. They're not prey, but mirrors, mysteries to be understood, not devoured. And speaking of mirrors, all of you have by now encountered silver. It may seem needless to remind you, but I shall. Precautions never wasted. During daylight hours, even when sunlight doesn't strike directly, one must avoid mirrors in public rooms, particularly those with silver amalgam. How might you tell the difference? In most ground houses, the looking glass is crafted with mercury and silver. Many of you already know this precaution does not apply at night. Moonlight is different.
Though we no longer place one another on pedestals of lineage, rights remain equal, so long as one behaves with honor. That said, most of you are aware, in full daylight, only those of the oldest and most unbroken lines go entirely unreflected. In their presence, the mirror simply excludes them, rejects them, as if the glass itself cannot hold their image. For the rest of us, our likeness may still linger faintly. This is no disgrace, it is merely a reminder. Oh, and human women tend to have those special moon days that are very much dangerous for our kind, so I think we'll talk about it later.
Ah, there it is. Take a short moment to collect yourselves, then continue down to the training halls below. Down there, you'll have a different kind of discipline. I do remember my first training, when I was young and naive, just like you. My master was right about everything except for the nails. They must be long. Don't stare at their veins. You're a lady, after all. I didn't mean to. Cover your shoulders. Signal your boundaries. Before anyone dares test them. Manners, darling. Now, the best way to feed unnoticed is to look like prey. Show me the softest face you own. Let your eyes say, I wouldn't even know how to run. Good. Yes, just so. Now, propriety. That, too rude. And that, even worse. See? You don't touch strangers. Not even those you've been acquainted with. Not with your hands. Well, not unless you're invited. And we rarely are. But I feel drawn to them like a thread in my chest. Good. That's where we begin. Show me your hands. I sharpened them this morning. Yes, very efficient. And completely lacking in grace. Yes, this should be sharp, of course. But we aren't wolves. We're whisperers. Make it impossible to notice. Well, enough theory. It's time to practice. Inside? Yes. Let us step into the loop. A lighthouse. Isn't it a strange place for us? Exactly. No one ever looks behind the light. They see the beam of the keeper. They stare into the glare, never asking how lit it. Light blinds more than it reveals.